Well, good afternoon, everyone. Scott Henderson, shooter. Hey, and we're just going to go over a quick onboarding to try and get you guys started with Substack. I'm going to highly recommend that you bookmark Swing Trade Notes at Substack.com. Gives you this little tab. You'll see the primary wave little logo as it pops up, but that gives you a quick link. It does not exclude you from looking at other sites. All you have to do is click home off of your icon and it'll take you there. Then you can go right back. So you can actually set up a bookmark for both Swing Trade Note or Kirk's article, etc. So you can have different quick links that are available for that. First thing I'd like to point out is the search tool. As soon as I found out Substack categorizes everything by text size, H2 and H3 size, that's where we went because it gave us a very simple search criteria. So for example, we want to look for the recap. First three letters, it'll pull up all of the most recent recaps in chronological order. We want to look at the SPY plan. It's going to show the most recent SPY plan. For example, we want to look up a stock that we heard about, but we want to look up, see what we've talked about as far as geo, okay, as a stock. Same thing if we want to look up risk management, find an article on there. That'll be able for position sizing, etc. We want to do a search for Bitcoin. Same scenario. It'll pull up everything related to coins that are there. And that is the most simple tool. I mean, actually it's fantastic. When you come to the main article, you have my anchored article, which will change likely daily or every couple of days. Then it'll list the most popular articles, all right, which I like. Then it's going to list them in chronological order. The only thing this does not list are the setups on my radar, which are specific to the name. Now, the simple format we're going to with the setups on my radar is we're going to have obviously the stock symbol, etc., the chart. Then we're going to have a paragraph that summarizes why I like it. Right? And then the full analysis. Now, you're also going to notice that there's this lock on most of those setups. So in other words, any of the members can see above that. However, only the pro members will be able to see the remainder of the article below there. And that lockout period will be 14 days. Now, let's go to the weekly recap. Now, here you're going to find the write-up, which will include anything I do for Wednesdays, the follow-up, or over the weekends as far as the market analysis. Now, I've excluded from putting charts in the Outlook because I want them to have their own independent article. I see no reason to put them all in one place because it's not necessarily how the market's going to work. Like, for example, I have two stocks that I like going into the open Monday. There's another 5 or 6 stocks that with conditions I'm going to post, but they're not posted yet. I don't want them in the article because I don't want you guys focusing on that. I want you focusing on those two setups. If you like them, take them. All right. When I post a new article, then I like that setup for you to take now. Also, you'll have our videos there, any I do. The game plan is to do 2 podcasts a week. It might end up being more than that on certain weeks. It just depends on how involved we are, whether the market warrants it or not. Because as a FOMO trader, if the market's not moving, I'm sitting on my hands unless I find a setup that falls into the box that I want it to fall in. If it's not in the box, I'm not taking it. That kind of thing. Now, special reports are going to be my deep dives, like the metals and mining or 45Z. We're going to go over things like bondholders in Japan, cybersecurity, any Trump type news. So those will be periodic articles. Now, these articles will be for pro members first, and then they will be released 30 days after that. I may move it down to 14 days, but right now I'm going to keep it at 30 days because there is a lot in these articles. I mean, it is a full institutional investor layout and plan. Okay. So it's like somebody going in and spending the grand for that research report. And truthfully, for the paying subscribers, I don't think it's fair that they would get less access to that versus those that aren't paying for that extra premium kind of thing. So that's my thought. All right. EDU, tools for helping you get ahead. Like, for example, IRA's changed, so I thought it was a good spot to make everybody aware of that because I was looking at mine. Paul Tudor Jones was a lengthy discovery for me, reviewing 40 years of his videos and work and analysis and successes and failures, etc. A couple of months of work, anyways, probably 3. I decided to share that. I'm going to, I have a number of other people I'm going to do that on periodically. those will be here. They will fall under that same criteria where there'll be pieces. Right now, there's pieces that are public in superpowers. It's not full. Actually, I might actually turn it into a book, only because I'm told that it's the best on the market about Paul Tudor Jones. So, and then you're going to find any strategies that I have here, and then also our risk management tools. Also, you're going to find the 1-minute stock analysis article. Now, the most recent published 1-minute analysis will be listed here in chronological order, most recent first. Just so I explain what this is. This is not a buy alert or a sell alert. That's not what this is for. It's this is the chart. This is what we see. This is where we're right. This is where we're wrong kind of scenario. So we put an alert out on Rocket Labs and we entered it back, in the 40s. And yet this was published when we were in the 70s. So it's not necessarily, but the content's good. The idea here is I was seeing so much noise and people talking about different stocks on Twitter, etc. And I have a thing with things being wrong, not accurate. And this was my way. Okay, this is where we are with this stock. We should share this story because everybody's talking about Rocket Lab, right? How it's prone to be breakout. Well, the most likely case after 3 generals is we get a pullback. So my perception of releasing this was caution until we get the pullback, and then where do we like it and what price do we want to like it at? And then obviously for a marketing tool to help push subscribers towards my work. So that pretty much is it as far as the layout of the site. Hopefully this was helpful. I thank you for any support you guys have done. Please like and share my work. Great trading. Until next time.